I am now today calling for the resignation of Tommy Carlisle and also Chris Gonzalez. They should resign from office.
In a shocking turn of events, Tiffany Henyard, yes, the same Tiffany Henyard embroiled in a massive corruption scandal, has launched a GoFundMe campaign to raise $10 million for her debt relief. This is a move that no one saw coming, especially after everything that's happened. A woman who once held the power of an entire town is now reaching out to the public for financial help. But why would someone in her position make such a desperate plea? What's behind this bold, and some might say, controversial request? The internet has exploded with reactions, and the question everyone is asking is, will the public actually donate to her cause, or is this just another twist in her downward spiral? After all, Tiffany's past is filled with scandal, betrayal, and shattered trust. How could she possibly expect anyone to give her a penny now? As Tiffany packs up her past and opens a new chapter, there's more at stake than just her financial future. This campaign could either be her path to redemption or the final nail in her coffin. When Tiffany made her announcement, it was nothing short of bold. With little fanfare, she posted a simple message on GoFundMe, explaining her situation. She was asking for $10 million to help pay off personal debts that had been accumulating after the fallout from the corruption scandal that rocked her career. According to Tiffany herself, the money would help with everything from unpaid loans to mounting legal fees. She was in a financial hole that, by her own admission, she simply couldn't get out of without help. Now, when you think about it, $10 million is an incredibly ambitious goal, especially for someone who was once so powerful in the public eye. How could the same woman who once had it all, who ran an entire town, now be begging for financial assistance? It's almost hard to believe, right? But that's exactly what she's doing. Tiffany claims she needs the money to start fresh and clear her name, but her credibility is on the line. How could a woman once seen as the face of leadership, someone who had so much control, now find herself in this position of vulnerability? And then there's the emotional aspect. Can she possibly regain the public's trust with a campaign like this? She's asking for millions, but can she get people to believe that she deserves it after everything that's happened? For many, this could be the final straw, the moment they write her off for good. But for others, this might just be her last chance at rebuilding something, anything, after everything she's lost. So, what exactly led to Tiffany's massive debt? How did a woman who once lived in luxury, surrounded by wealth and power, end up in such a dire situation? The details are murky, but public information gives us some clues. It's no secret that Tiffany's finances took a major hit after the scandal. Legal fees, unpaid loans, and the cost of defending herself against the accusations have likely drained her savings. But it's not just about the scandal itself. There are rumors, whispers in the community, that Tiffany's extravagant lifestyle was a big part of the problem. Flashy parties, expensive tastes, and lavish spending are not cheap. Was this just the cost of living up to the high expectations of a public figure, or was it part of a deeper, more personal problem? It's hard to say, but one thing is clear: Tiffany's financial situation is far worse than anyone could have imagined. When she once lived in a mansion with a powerful political career to match, it's hard to imagine how she ended up in debt. How does a woman who had it all get to this point? Is this just a momentary crisis, or is she facing something much deeper? It's easy to be skeptical. Some might wonder if this GoFundMe is nothing more than a strategy to regain some sympathy from the public, a way to manipulate the perception of her situation. After all, with so many eyes on her, could this campaign be part of an even bigger plan to control the narrative? Naturally, the public's reaction to Tiffany's GoFundMe campaign has been anything but predictable. It seems like everyone has an opinion, and not everyone is ready to extend a helping hand. Some have reacted with anger, disbelief, and frustration. After all, how could Tiffany, who has already caused so much harm to the town, ask for money now? How could she show her face again after everything she's done and expect people to just forget her past mistakes? Some people feel that this is just another example of her entitled attitude, as if she can simply ask for help and make everything go away. And then there are those who are willing to give her a second chance. It's a tough decision, but some people feel sympathy for Tiffany. They wonder if she truly deserves a shot at redemption. Maybe she's just a person who's fallen from grace and is now trying to pick up the pieces. Some believe she could genuinely be trying to rebuild her life, though they're unsure if this GoFundMe is the right way to do it. Is she really starting over, or is this just another move in a calculated game? The internet has also seen its fair share of fan theories. Some believe this could be a strategy to make a comeback. Maybe Tiffany plans to use the money to settle legal issues or clear her name in some way. Others think that this GoFundMe could just be another desperate attempt to remain relevant, to stay in the public eye, even if it means exploiting the goodwill of others. The lines between reality and strategy are blurring, and nobody quite knows where this is going. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room: $10 million. Seriously, is that even possible? Tiffany is asking for an astronomical sum, and that alone raises a lot of red flags. GoFundMe campaigns are typically for smaller amounts, $1,000 here, $10,000 there, but $10 million is a whole other ballgame. And considering Tiffany's reputation after the scandal, it seems like an incredibly steep goal. But here's the real question: can someone with such a tarnished public image actually pull this off? Can Tiffany Henyard, the woman who caused so much damage, really raise that kind of money from the public? There's a chance that people might donate a small amount out of sympathy. But is it really realistic to expect such a large sum from the very people she betrayed? The odds seem stacked against her, but the question remains: is this campaign doomed from the start, or will it somehow succeed? There have been numerous instances where public figures have launched large-scale GoFundMe campaigns for personal reasons, but the outcomes rarely favor the individuals involved. Whether it's a celebrity in need of financial assistance or a former politician trying to regain their footing, raising millions through public donations is a challenging and often controversial endeavor. It's even more complicated when the individual in question is someone like Tiffany, who is already embroiled in a major corruption scandal. If her campaign fails, the consequences could be dire. Will she fall further into debt, or will this attempt to recover only serve to make her an even bigger target for criticism? The risks associated with Tiffany's GoFundMe campaign are high. What may appear as a sincere request for help could quickly be seen as a desperate attempt to avoid facing the full extent of her legal troubles. The question that many are asking is whether Tiffany is genuinely trying to start over, or if she's trying to use public sympathy to shield herself from the consequences of her actions. There's also the possibility that her campaign could backfire entirely, further damaging her already tarnished reputation. Now, let's take a closer look at the legal implications of Tiffany's fundraising effort. Tiffany's campaign might seem like an innocent plea for assistance, but there could be legal ramifications that complicate things. Many are wondering if this GoFundMe is a way for Tiffany to avoid paying fines, settling debts, or addressing the legal obligations tied to the corruption scandal. Some legal experts believe that this campaign might not be as innocent as it appears, suggesting that it could be part of a larger strategy to delay or circumvent legal consequences. Could Tiffany be trying to use public donations to shield herself from financial responsibility, or is there more at play here than meets the eye? If Tiffany's GoFundMe is seen as a strategy to avoid her legal obligations, the consequences could be even more severe. Authorities could investigate the source and use of the funds, which might lead to more legal trouble for her. Using public donations in this way could be interpreted as an attempt to exploit the generosity of others while trying to evade accountability for her actions. If it becomes clear that the campaign was just a cover for financial mismanagement or legal evasion, Tiffany could face additional charges or penalties, further deepening her legal woes. On the other hand, if Tiffany is able to raise the funds and use them appropriately to settle debts or pay legal fees, it might allow her to regain some semblance of control over her life. However, even this outcome is fraught with uncertainty, as public opinion and the legal system are unpredictable in such high-profile cases. Is Tiffany genuinely trying to make a fresh start, or is this just another calculated move in her ongoing saga of public relations and self-preservation? For some, the GoFundMe campaign could mark the beginning of Tiffany's redemption story, a chance for her to rebuild and regain trust with the public. Yet, for others, it might seem like another attempt to manipulate the system, a way to salvage her reputation without addressing the underlying issues. The truth is, no one really knows what Tiffany's motivations are, and the public remains deeply divided. Some people believe that this GoFundMe campaign is her last-ditch effort to rebuild her life and reputation. They see it as a way for Tiffany to take responsibility for her actions, pay her legal fees, and perhaps even start over. Others, however, view it as yet another manipulation tactic, an attempt to control the narrative and avoid the harsh consequences that she rightly deserves. The fact that Tiffany is asking the public to support her financially after all that has transpired only raises more questions about her intentions. The controversy surrounding Tiffany's GoFundMe campaign is unlikely to die down anytime soon. As her supporters and critics continue to debate her motivations, one thing is clear: the risks are enormous. If the campaign fails, Tiffany could find herself even deeper in financial and legal trouble. If it succeeds, however, it could offer her a way to regain some control over her life, though it would likely come with its own set of challenges and criticisms. Regardless of the outcome, Tiffany's saga is far from over, and the public will be watching closely to see how this new chapter unfolds. As for Tiffany's future, anything is possible. She could use the funds to pay off her debts, start fresh, and prove that she's truly changed. Or she could continue down the path of self-preservation, using any means necessary to stay relevant. Only time will tell what comes next in Tiffany's journey, but one thing is certain: this is far from over. What do you think? Is Tiffany Henyard deserving of our help, or is this just another ploy to salvage her reputation? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If this story shocked you, hit that like button and share it with your friends. We'll be keeping a close eye on this GoFundMe campaign and any new developments. Subscribe to stay updated on this ever-evolving story. Is Tiffany truly trying to turn her life around, or is this just another chapter in her scandalous saga? Only time will tell.